2025 was a year that genuinely changed me in ways that I could have never thought even possible before. Not in some flashy way that people talk about on YouTube, and not in some sort of epiphany way, but in sort of a quiet, deep internal feeling inside of me. And I feel like if I don't talk about it, I'd be lying to you and myself. So these are the 7 lessons from one of the most emotional, humbling, and ultimately meaningful years in my life. Some of them came from pain, some of them came from clarity, and some of them came from slowing down even though I didn't want to. And how all of them reshaped how I think about life, work, purpose, and who I actually want to become. If you're in a season in your life where you feel lost, burnt out, feeling like you're behind, or unsure of what you're even chasing anymore, this video is exactly for you. So let's start with lesson 1. Lesson number 1, it's okay to take a break. Some of you may have noticed that I haven't posted anything on YouTube for about a month. This came as a sort of culmination of a lot of things. One of the reasons was I was very burnt out with all of the content that I was making. I'm still in my gap year and I'm still traveling around, but everything became too much to handle. I was traveling around so much, I didn't have any time to edit, and I didn't know what sort of videos I wanted to make and what direction I wanted my brand to go in. I had become so enveloped in my own self, in my problems, in my future, and everything that I was thinking about, and the future especially. I am in a gap year and I'm not in college yet, and I don't know whether I'm gonna go to college or I'm gonna keep traveling around for a while. I really don't know. My main goal right now is to start posting on YouTube again, post self-improvement content, and help as many people as I can achieve their lives that they've always wanted and achieve all of their goals while achieving my own. And at the time that I stopped making content, I was at the darkest point in my life that I've ever been, bar none. I was in the north of France and I was making content about business. And it came to a point where I was traveling solo and I had made my way up to the north so I could go to the UK, but I had to spend 1 week in the north of France. I had booked an Airbnb and I took a train from where I was staying before in the north of France to where this Airbnb was. And it was about an hour train ride plus a 45-minute taxi ride. And I made it to this little town before the taxi ride where I had to wait a really long time for the check-in, which was about 6 hours because I didn't check the check-in time beforehand, and it ended up being at 6 p.m. rather than the usual 3 p.m. Anyway, I was sort of quote-unquote stuck in this northern France town for about 6 hours. And I was like, all right, well, I just kind of gotta be here. And I chilled out for a while, I took a nap on a bench, stuff like that. And then when it came time to eventually get to my Airbnb, it was dark because it was around 6 p.m. and it was absolutely freezing. And so I called my parents and I expressed to them that I was feeling very homesick, and of course, I started crying. And I hadn't cried for a very long time about something like this. You know, it was a culmination of me being plunged into a gap year where I had to figure out everything on my own, traveling solo, being very lonely and homesick, and just having no certainty of the future whatsoever. And when I called my parents, they were of course very supportive of me. They gave me some wise words, some comforting words, and then I was like, okay, thank you very much. I'm gonna go get my taxi now. And when I called the taxi service, it turns out that they weren't even in business anymore. And it was the only taxi service in this whole town. There was no Uber, there was nothing like that. It was pretty remote. And there were no trains to this place where I was going. So I was stuck. And this is the point where I felt really bad. And I called my parents back again, just absolutely sobbing. I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna be homeless for a night. What am I gonna do? Stuck in the middle of northern France. And they were like, it's okay, you're good. Just take the train back. I'm sure you'll find a hostel somewhere. So I had to wait outside of the train station for about an hour in the freezing cold. It started snowing. I had to wait until the next train, and the train came, and I took it back to Caen in France, and I found a hostel there, and I stayed there for about a week. And that whole week was the hardest period of my life ever. I had absolutely no motivation whatsoever. I was down in the dumps. I was lonely. I was homesick. I mean, anything that you can think of, I had it. It was terrible. And I ended up just basically sitting in my bed every single day and being absolutely depressed every single day of my life. And I've never ever thought about taking my life, but this was probably the closest that I ever came to getting to that point. And it was, ooh. It was really hard, and I haven't talked about it publicly. Only my closest family knows about it, and I was just feeling so alone and in a bubble. And solo traveling is the hardest experience that I've ever had to endure, but it has taught me so much about myself, far more than I could ever have learned if I were not solo traveling. And so I'm very thankful for that. And during my gap year, I had started to lose track of what I wanted my vision to be. Some of you may have noticed that my content was very sporadic, very all over the place. And it's because that I had no direction whatsoever. So I needed time to get back on track, and thus the 1 month break. I went to the UK, and I didn't post any content. I didn't pick up my camera at all, and I had an amazing time. I spent 2 weeks in London, then I spent 1 week in Edinburgh in Scotland, and then now I'm at my grandmother's house in Scotland. I just spent Christmas with all my family and the New Year's as well, and it's honestly what I needed. It's exactly what I was looking for, and exactly the time that I needed to find my true purpose and to find what I wanted my next steps in my content and in my future to be. Which brings me to lesson number 2. Find your true purpose in life. A lot of people talk about finding your true purpose in life and say that you need to do everything to try to find your true purpose in life. And in reality, that's just not the way it works. You find your true purpose by time. It exposes you to all these different things and exposes you to all the things that you could be doing in life. And eventually you'll find the thing that will fulfill you a lot. And 3 years ago, when I started my self-improvement journey, it was just money. I was 16 years old, I didn't know any better, and it was just money. I wanted to become financially free, and I thought every single thing in my life would be fixed if I became financially free. Now, it's of course very different. I have matured a lot more, and when I was 16, I started my first business endeavor, which was a social media marketing agency. When I was building that, I had no life. I was fully engrossed in trying to start my own business and trying to become financially free. In school, I switched friend groups completely. I wanted to be an actor for the longest time, and I did everything to be on track to become an actor up until about my junior year in high school. I was in a lot of plays at my school. I was even in Stranger Things as an extra on TV. And things were really looking up, but I looked at what that was gonna bring, and it would bring a lot of uncertainty in my life, and I didn't really want that, so I gave that up. I basically switched friend groups completely from sort of the acting, theater kid kind of people to sort of, I don't know, just other people at my school, and that took about a year. And throughout my junior year, I basically had no friends. And it didn't really matter because all I cared about was making money. I would go home and I would just grind day in and day out. And eventually I realized that money is not the end all be all, and there are more important things in life. But not before I didn't make a lot of money with my social media marketing agency. I funded my entire gap year that I'm going on right now with just my social media marketing agency. So by all accounts, it worked. But now my main purpose is to help other people try to achieve their dreams in life. Achieving financial freedom, achieving the physical body transformation that they want, just fully self-improvement. Because for me, self-improvement is very important to me. It changed my life completely. I was the scrawniest kid ever at my school. I was super skinny all throughout my life. And then when I started going to the gym, I started gaining confidence. When I changed my hair, everything changed. People started treating me differently. People started to respect me more. And overall, my life really improved, all because of self-improvement. And so I want to help everyone else achieve their dreams and achieve everything that I achieved with self-improvement. So if your main purpose right now is to become financially free, choose how you want to make your money. Choose why you want to do it. Choose your purpose. Incorporate your passions into how to make money. So for me, I love being creative. I love editing. I love this camera. I love cinematography. So it all coordinates with making content. But at the end of the day, it all has to be you that does it. Which brings me to my third lesson. No one is coming to save you. You can have support, but at the end of the day, you're the only person that can change anything in your life. Like I said before, I was in the darkest time in my life in the north of France about a month ago. And I was in the deepest hole of depression I've ever been in. And I had support. My family called me, I spoke with them for a long period of time, and it really helped me. But the only way that I could dig myself out of that hole was to do it myself and to wake up and do the hard things. And for me, it was literally waking up and going for a walk. I was so depressed that I couldn't even get out of bed. It was terrible. It was an awful experience. But at the end of the day, no one is coming to save you. And I don't mean this in sort of a hopeless kind of way. I'm saying this because you're the only one that can help you achieve your dreams. There are so many support systems around you, but you are gonna have to be the one that sets all of these in motion. But you got it. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it too. And I wanna help you do it as well. Which is why I wanna take this short time to tell you to just please subscribe to my channel and like my content, because it really helps me show that you guys like my content and you wanna see more videos like this, and you want me to teach you how to be on this self-improvement journey and how to improve your life in every area of your life and become the person that you've always wanted to be. Lesson number 4, self-education is key. So for me, at the age of 16, I didn't want to go to college. I thought, like I said before, financial freedom was just the way to go. I didn't need college to teach me anything. And I thought self-education is the way to go in everything. And that's true. I wanted to become 100% in everything that I did. I wanted the perfect physique. I wanted to have financial freedom. I wanted the freedom to be able to go wherever I wanted in my life. I wanted to become wise. I wanted to become very charismatic. I mean, every single area of life that you can improve in, I wanted to become 100% in. And the reason for this is because I have a love of learning. I love learning all these different things about the human body, about making money, about business, about anything that could possibly interest me. I love learning about it. And you need to educate yourself, because at the end of the day, you need to make your own decisions about the things that you find important in life. You need to become independent in case the world goes to shit and you don't know what to think anymore. If you educate yourself, you will know what to think. And a way that you can do this is to read. I have picked up reading in this month of being away from content, and it has really, really helped me. And I've read in the past, and I didn't really like it. I sort of did it to sort of force myself to learn all these things, but now I've really had a love for reading now. And I think it's one of the best ways you can learn anything. You literally get an entire person's life work in about 300 pages. And you can read that over the course of a week, 2 weeks, a month even. But it's way better than living that out and making the mistakes for yourself. It's sort of like the old version of YouTube videos. And you have to try to find a mentor. I went to a business meetup in London with about 400 other people, and I would say half of them had a mentor. And that half were miles ahead of everyone else who didn't have a mentor. I was by far the youngest person there, and I had built a business beforehand without a mentor. And so I was definitely an anomaly. But most of these people found out about business through college and either dropped out or started a business after college. And the people who found a mentor skyrocketed their results over the period of the time where they were building their business, because they were learning from someone who was making the mistakes that they didn't want to make. I think the fact that I started so early made it so I was making all those mistakes, but I was doing it so early that by the time I got to the age where I was making money for my social media marketing agency, I had made all those mistakes, but it was still a few years afterwards. So I would highly, highly recommend to find a mentor either online or in person. And you can do this by joining a community or by messaging someone one-on-one. You could even try to comment down below, either trying to be a mentor or trying to find a mentor down in the comments below. I'd love to see who would like a mentor and who would like to be a mentor, because I feel like that's really, really important for everyone learning and everyone trying to become 100% in everything in their life. Lesson number 5. Family over everything. Few people have your back like family do. Once again, I'm going back to that darkest time in my life, but truly it was a transformative experience because I had family around me to support me. At the end of the day, you do not want to alienate yourself from your family because they truly love you. And I would never be where I am today without my family. And I'm super, super grateful for that. You always have someone to fall back on, give you a place to stay even if you have a good relationship with them. And I truly think family is one of the most important things in life to have. Lesson number 6. Do what makes you happy. I see a lot of people say online to follow your passions and to do what makes you happy. And I agree with that sometimes. But I think you have to do what makes you happy within the certain parameters of what your goals are in life. Because I truly believe that some people have goals in their life and their passions won't help them get there. However, you do need to have a balance in your life of work, exercise, fun, and play. Work being anything that makes you money, so it could be freelance work, it could be building your business, it could be building your online brand, could be building a software, anything like that. Exercise, of course, going to the gym, running, boxing, whatever. You just need to get that exercise in you to build up that physical discipline so that your mental discipline can be helped by your physical discipline. Fun, because you need to have fun in the work that you're doing. One of the worst experiences is not having fun while you're doing your work because you just get drained and you don't produce the results that you want. And finally, play. Go out with friends, go bowling, go to the gym together. I mean, anything that brings you closer to other people and brings an essence of life into your life. I know that sounds weird, but you need something to live for, you know? And you should try to incorporate all your interests into your work. For me, I'm very creative. Like I said before, I was an actor for a very long time. And I love editing and I love cinematography. So I incorporated all of those into making content and starting my own businesses. And overall, I just like creative work. I love music and I love movies. And so all of those interests combined into sort of the perfect storm of what I want to do in life. And finally, lesson number 7, do your best to become disciplined. I am by no means a disciplined person. It is very, very hard for me to become disciplined. I'm not one of those people who's just like, oh, I'll get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and I'll go for a run every single day. If I did that, I would not be able to sustain that for a long period of time and I would not be able to become disciplined in that. For me, becoming disciplined is a very long and hard task, and it's very difficult for me to become disciplined. But I'm working towards it every single day. If you're like me at all, you have a lot of trouble becoming disciplined in your life. But just try to work towards it and try to take small steps towards it every single day. And my next video on this channel will cover everything having to do with discipline. And it will definitely help you if you're like me and you don't know how to become super disciplined. I will teach you everything that I've learned about discipline and how I do my best to become disciplined, even though I hate it. And I have a few huge projects in the works for everyone in this channel. I know it's a small channel, but I understand that you guys want value and I'm going to give that to you. So look out for that in the future, in the next few months. And if you're part of the 20% that has stayed to the very, very end of this video, again, please hit subscribe and hit the like button so I can see that you like these videos, and comment what video should I do next. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.